Hello everybody, welcome to Saturday. We're going to be talking about the Summoners Fest, the Realm event, some things we still do not know, and some wording that again kind of indicates that more points are on their way, some assumptions, some facts. We're also going to be talking about rank and spenders and extra points. We're also going to be talking about maybe future events that Command have got for this month that could be giving us more points. We'll talk about where we're up to individually, what's left points-wise to go and farm, and then finishing off with where we're currently up to with projections and some misconceptions around us hitting about 54 billion points that we just need to kind of just go, look, that's not going to happen. There's a bit of an incorrect assumption. But let's get into the video. The video has got time codes, so you can click tabs, like you'll probably see about 3 or 4 tabs, including the intro, that you can go and click to the relevant topic and point, but it's all relevant to the subject that is an update to the Summoners Fest Realm event. So it's been about a week and since I did the last bit of coverage on Summoners Fest, and the reason I'm just not doing videos like all the time, maybe like weekly videos, just to kind of cover topics of where there's more points to get, where we're currently at, will probably be a bit better. And yes, there's going to be MCN coverages, but it's only when there's kind of sufficient or interesting news. So Summoners Fest at the moment, I'm currently up to 90,865 points, and I've been able to keep up largely with everything. I'll bite some stuff like Battlegrounds, not Battlegrounds objectives, I've done all those, but Battlegrounds finishing in Diamond 1. And I think Vibranium one I've still got yet to do. So there's still some stuff that I need to get done. So yes, like I'm still kind of like getting there. Oh no, I am in Diamond 1. No, it's not triggering properly. I think we all know that. So maybe like I've got to do a bit more. So where are we up to with points remaining to get? Well, this is the difficulty. A lot of people seem to have this, I don't know, premonition that they know the points we're getting in August. And those particular points are going to be the larger points to get. Like I can tell you right now, like I'm up to 90,850 points or whatever it is. And then I could tell you that based on some calculations that I've done, that about 146,000 points remain from what we know. But what we don't know is how many meta objectives for August we're going to get. If you go if you kind of like, again, down to like terminology and how Kabam have kind of like made it, they've said complete an August special quest objective. Now we have been stung with this because Kabam did have here like complete a zone in Fantastic Force Incursion Saga Sector. And we all know that the way that's worded isn't exactly how we kind of thought. Okay, well, you can go in multiple times and do a zone and get more points. Well, that's not the case. You can't do that. There's no refarmable element to it. So if you think you're going to... I mean, what I've learned from this event is you can't trust Kabam when it comes to clarity and communication to let you know how many points are available to get and also where to go, because Kabam said the other day, or last week actually, there's 300,000 points to get, but didn't explain to you what portion of that could be farmed as a free-to-play player, because we already know that there is a segment of the points that are spending-based points to farm. There, just below me right there. There's 11,000 points that were for spenders. Theoretically, providing you can actually repurchase those unit-based bundles, that's these ones. Come on, I clicked on it. There. These ones right here, which if you click on them, 800, you can get 800 fest points there, 400 points there. And of course, if it runs for the allotted amount of days, which is 65, then I think it works out that you can get these 7 times or 7 times purchases, which then of course puts you into a new light. But that's another story for part 2. Anyway, again, we're talking about the theoretical elements of trying to farm the 300,000 points, because as we said, we don't know the facts. The facts could be here, 146,810 points. So in theory, if that is what is left to farm, plus say mine 90. And sorry, I'm not kind of doing this for everybody. It's just that I don't know what 200,000 to 300,000 active player accounts are when it comes to the Summoners Fest points. It's probably easier for me to go, well, I'm up to here, and you can say, well, I've done that, Rich. Okay, you've got less points to farm. Well, I can't get that, Rich, when you've got even less points to farm. So it's always difficult to kind of like gauge player by player, like what you've got. But theoretically, theoretically, let's say there's 237,000 points for me still to farm. Oh no, it will put me at 237,000. Sorry, if I then take off, well, it's the wrong way of doing it, but it comes to the same result: 62,000, 62k more points to find. And as we said, we're trying to put facts to unknowns. That unknown being this right here. We don't know how many August objectives we're going to get. Because we could, again, say that, well, if you minus off your 11,000 for the spending portion, 70... No, don't do that, Rich. That's the wrong way of doing it. No, we don't deal with minuses. It'll make it even worse. So, yeah, non-spending, 51,940 points unknown. So that points there is one's missing. Like, we're missing that. We don't, as in we don't know where it comes from. Because you could go, okay, well, divide it by the meta objective, 200 means that there has to be about 10 objectives, give or take. So Kabam, that's going to be the question I pose to Kabam. Like, do we have 10 objectives for August? Do we not? Do we have 5 objectives for the meta objective? And 5 at that, or 10 at that, whatever, at the 2,600. Until we know that, again, that's important. Also, I'm unsure about whether or not we're going to get Summoners Fest objectives over off-season. If we get them off of off-season when it comes to Battlegrounds, then again, that changes things as well. Are we having more? Are we having less? Less days, more days when it comes to the Battlegrounds season. There's stuff still unknown. So, yeah. Still more to find out. Hopefully there's an update we can share with you next week. But let's just go with just keep playing the mode. Keep farming the content. Keep farming, getting those points. That's the best thing I can say at the moment, so you won't be disappointed towards the end of it. And also, Kabam haven't announced any more information surrounding this event right here. Doombots. Like, what is that? Is that an August thing? Is it end of July thing? Is it something that's going to be giving you Summoners Fest points? So until we know that, we don't know at the moment. But let's move on to part 2 and talk about spending and the rank side of things. So the biggest mystery I have at the moment is when it comes to the rank rewards. What sets this apart? If 300,000 flat points are farmable, how the heck are you meant to get yourself a standout rank unless there's spending elements? We've already seen in this video alone that there is a potential, possibly, 11k extra points that you can farm based on spending money. Now, of course, it's going to cost a bit of money. So if there's an 11,000 points kind of like rank difference, then that is quite substantial, because then it puts it more as a spending-based Summoners Fest rank rewards than it does for a non-spending. And that's the tricky part, is that the thing that I don't know, the mystery that is ultimately around this particular event. Are Kabam yet to put something out at some stage that you're able to get bonus amounts of points from like a different mode? The same way they put the other mode in, so the forced recruitment. So forced recruitment's in at the moment. That has something with Clash and with the other type of recruitment that they've got, standard recruitment, that has a rank reward-based system within it. But at least you know that that is definitely going to be a spender-based thing to kind of like try and get yourself like further. Or if you got a metric mound of units to farm. So that's again like something similar. But you know what's happening with that. You don't know what's happening with Summoners Fest to set yourself apart to have more points, except for spending that little amount. So yeah, I'm ultimately confused with this, but I definitely think that there's some further clarity Kabam can give. Or is there a bonus mode coming out like this month or next month where you can farm additional types of Summoners Fest points to make a difference? So yeah, I'm very much confused with that, but I thought it was important to bring this into this coverage to kind of point that out. Like, again, we're left with unknowns, and even more so as a non-spending player, with what the heck's going on with it, and what chance is there for free-to-play to actually be able to make a difference with getting into the ranked. I'm sure they will do, but they won't be able to get up to the top, because it seems like you'd have to spend on those deals. unless there's something scary around the corner, which could be a store or deals or offers. I dare not think of that. Final part of this video, and the final message I want to give to you, is about where we're currently up to and our progression and our potential prediction of where we're going to finish. We all of a sudden got up past 10 billion. So all the kind of the data that I'm using, or the number that I'm using, is represented around 10.6 billion points. I know it says 10.8, but that's the point at which I was, I did all the kind of the sums and stuff. So I don't really want to kind of return back to it. So here's the facts, okay? It took us 11 days to get to 10.6 billion points, right? And now we're up to a very kind of like sticky situation of, where we could actually finish, which is actually quite good. I'm sure a lot of us, including myself, would love to see us pass the 31 billion mark. That 31 billion mark sees us have an upcoming content reveal, right? And that's pretty fun to see like what that particular content is, especially if we can then prep for the future. It does mean that at the moment we are doing a and I don't, because I know some people will kind of like go, well, oh, this looks really good, and this is the problem we've had. If you take the 10.6 billion, it equates to 967,432,262 per day, theoretically. Which, of course, if you then times by the remaining days, which is 54, it gets to 52 billion, right? This is incorrect. This is an incorrect way of looking at where we're going to, because you might be like, oh, well, we'll smash this event. No, it's not how it works, because you were given a massive bump. Everybody was given a massive bump of 10,000 points because of the compensation. That particular compensation is a big red herring to where we are actually going to finish off. Because then what you have to do is go, all right, there's what? There's 54 days left to do. So if there is 80,000, like here's a good example. If there's 80,000 active players, the remaining 210,000 points, I'm just basing that on, like, say, randomly me, because like I'm on 90k points right there. So then, you know, 210 plus 90k gets us up to 300k, which is what is left. So if those 80,000 players do 210k, it equates to 16 billion, right? 16 billion plus the 10 billion, which we've got at the moment, 1 billion, 10 billion, that we've got at the moment, or, you know, 10.6 billion, or whatever, will put us up to the 26 billion. So this is, unless all those 80k players that can get up to the 300k mark, like that's, could be where we actually finish, which is a little bit disappointing, but that could change. It's just, again, just to point out, like, there's got to be players willing to hit near to that 300k mark, and there needs to be over 80,000 active players. I actually think there's more than that. There could be like 200,000 active players, which if that's the case, then I think we'll be absolutely fine. But it's just trying to be a bit real on how much players have to hit that 300k mark or close to it in order to us to get the 31 billion or higher than that. But we'll have to see how things go, and that's the future that we've got to be realistic on. We may do it, we may not, but we have to just work hard. That's it, until Kabam give us facts and information. But anyway, that's been it for a bit of an update, and I'll see you all next week for the next Summoners Fest update, unless there's any kind of key news or information we need to cover. See you all soon. Bye.